Hey, welcome to Wrestling Uncensored, episode 400!
Woo! Damn.
Here we are live, we're on TSN 690, I am Dave Simon. You all know me, right? You all know who I am. Johnny North is here, Big Johnny.
I'm great, I know, thank you.
Yes, Big Johnny is here. But also, we have a packed house. We have a seriously packed house here tonight. What do we have in the house here? I'm trying to get my microphone right. This is not starting off well. Here we go! AJ's here.
No,
George AJ. AJ here from Ringside Report Radio. He's in the house as well. We're live on TSN 690 at the 400th episode of Wrestling Uncensored. And in the house, we have our most loyal, dedicated people. I love you guys. We are clapping it up.
We're applauding ourselves?
We are applauding ourselves, and that is the voice of Rob. And your Twitter is?
Give me five. Is it at Give Me 5 V's?
Do you not know your Twitter? That's good.
I know what it is. I just don't know how Twitter works.
That's good. So give me 5 B's, right, on Twitter. Our boy Rob is here. We have Captain Baba Alex.
What's up, guys?
Your Twitter is?
Captain Baba.
There it is, Captain Baba. We have, last night he was in here with me and Fred and AJ for Ringside Report Radio. Coming all the way from Ireland is Wally in the house.
Top of the morning.
There he is. Our man
Very
Wally.
stereotypical, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how you brought it out yesterday. And it
Yeah.
is top of the morning. It's a little past midnight here on TSN 690. We have... Man, I'm just running through everything. Amy is here, Wally's girlfriend.
Hey.
Amy is here. We just had dinner. Johnny and I had dinner with Wally and Amy, and it was a great time, and it's amazing to have you all here. Rob came in from Quebec City. Antoinette is in the house as well. Woo! Antoinette coming all the way from Toronto just for Wrestling Uncensored 400. Antoinette, there's a microphone there. You can say hi. No, she doesn't want to say hi.
Come on. Don't
Hi.
be shy.
Hi, there she is. Antoinette is here. And John is here as well. John Savage, DJ Derek John on Twitter. What's up, man? Say hello.
Hey, what's up?
There he is. He's here as well. And my brother, who is the only one who doesn't have a Twitter, Benjamin Simon, is also in the house.
Well, it's the big show.
Oh, man. Here he is. Here he is. Johnny North.
What's up?
Episode 400. We are here.
We are, finally.
Everybody's
we made it.
here.
We survived.
Can you believe we're still on the air?
Yeah, I'm surprised a little bit,
It's
yeah.
kind of surprising that they've allowed us to be on the air.
Did they even know we're on the air?
Oh, no. TSN 690 is aware that we're here.
Is there anybody left listening if we're all here?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully there are some people out there listening that, aren't in this room. But
I left the radio on for my cats at home, so we have two. Gypsy and Roman listening in, so there's two.
And you name your cat Roman, which is just shocking.
It's not after the wrestler. She was out well before Roman Reigns was.
I'm going to give my cats a shout-out. Big shout-out to Ricky Carlito and Norman Smiley also, who I did name after the wrestler Norman Smiley. So
Ricky Carlito.
Ricky Carlito after Carlito, the wrestler. Because I'm a crazy wrestling fan, and I'm a big wrestling nerd, and I have been my entire life. And it's cool to be able to talk about pro wrestling with my buddy Johnny North, who I've known Johnny for over 10 years. We went to CJEP at Dawson together.
It's been like almost 15 now, I think, yeah.
Yeah, we've known each other for a really long time, and it's just so cool to me that talking professional wrestling with my buddy Johnny North has become, Wrestling Uncensored has become this community that we've grown together. So thank you. Thank you all for being here. This is really cool. And I want to just turn the show over to you guys. We're going to talk wrestling. We're going to talk about Wrestling Uncensored. And, yeah, that's it. I'm done. Thank you. You guys can take over.
Yeah, let's pop that
And
champagne.
AJ is here. We got the champagne. We got some nice champagne, some Moet champagne. We're going all out for 400. And AJ's about to pop the cork and hopefully not do any damage to the studio,
I'm not optimistic.
This could
Did you
be
say Samoan champagne?
Moet champagne.
makes more
This
sense.
is not Samoan champagne.
That's when all
That would make a lot of sense, for... This actually was sent to me by Dwayne The Rock Johnson for 400. So thank you, Rock. Thank you, Rock.
Did he send you a picture of himself with it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, a nude photo though. It was a little weird. I don't know why he did that.
Well, he's a handsome man.
Yes.
Just bring it.
All right, here we go. He's popping a cork.
Wait a second. Let me put it towards the mic.
Well, not too close to the mic, AJ.
Let's him that thing. Yeah.
Ready?
Here we go. Oh.
Happy New Year!
Way! 400!
400!
I was kind of hoping for a bit of a ricochet somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted me to shoot up?
No. That was actually a clean,
good.
a clean pop there, AJ. Well
No
done.
damage. Nice.
Well done. And unlike Ringside Report Radio, AJ is here just to serve us drinks. He's not actually going to be on the show. He's not going to cause trouble. Wally, you saw what he did last night. It was just a disaster.
He rocked back in his chair at one stage and started doodling on the board, and he just drew random things and.
He just picks up his phone and he starts doing Instagram videos off mic while we're doing the show. It's just really.
It sounds like you're a babysitter.
Yeah, we do babysit, AJ, and that's what Ringside Report Radio has become, a babysitting session.
It's all right.
It's all right. Here's AJ. He's fine. He's wearing a full gi, and he was out before the show in his karate suit, dressed like George St. Pierre, in the middle of René Levesque, very busy,
Yeah, I took some
kicking.
pictures.
Yeah, there are pictures out there.
It's on my Periscope as well.
It's on Wally's Periscope. It's on my Instagram, at Dave Simon MMA. First plug for the Instagram there, John. Keep it count.
Yeah, I don't think people should do what Anthony did, by the way.
No.
Please don't do that. Ever do that.
TSN does not stand by anything that AJ has done tonight.
I don't personally, and I'm sure TSN doesn't either.
Do not try this at home
Anybody
or
under
anywhere.
18, please do not listen.
And what
to
about Dave
anything
picking
AJ
up
does.
Johnny?
Yeah, I picked up Johnny before the show. I figure if AJ's going to do a crazy feat, I'm going to lift Johnny. Well, first, Johnny lifted AJ, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that was easy, yeah.
Johnny lifted AJ, and I said, I can beat that. I'm going to lift Johnny up in the air.
I bet you Johnny's not that heavy, though. He's lean as hell.
Yeah, pretty good. 215, yeah, not bad.
What's
I
that?
can't believe this show is called Wrestling
Oh, I
Uncensored,
see.
and I can't cuss.
Rob's doing well at censoring himself. He's very good there. He said he's lean as
He's still early.
hell.
So, Johnny North,
you,
what do you think, my man? Well, how are you feeling here, episode 400? I want to thank you, Johnny North, because the dedication that you have shown over the past, I don't know, 200-300 episodes has
Yeah,
been
only 300, because I wasn't in the beginning, right? So
Yeah, you weren't there at the very, very beginning, but you've been here for a very long time, and your dedication has been outstanding to the show. So I applaud you, Johnny North.
thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, keep it up. It's not loud enough, actually. There we go. That's it. Yeah.
Episode 400 is going to be remembered as a series of rounds of applause.
Because I could not do this show without you, obviously. You know, the show is you and me, and you are the pro wrestler. You are the pro wrestling voice. And we already have our first mess. AJ, could you just
doesn't
help
even have
out
their
our
full
buddy?
But that's good, because usually it's me that does that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, Dave, since you thanked Johnny, who's going to thank you for putting all this together?
Yeah, Dave.
I don't know. Maybe you guys. I'm
Yeah,
hoping
maybe
you
we all
guys
should.
would kind of kick in at some point, you know? So,
Well, you make my Sunday drives more bearable, I'll tell you that much.
tell me about the show, guys, because it takes a lot. Rob, you came in from Quebec City. Wally, you came in from Ireland.
Can I
Antoinette,
interrupt you for just a second?
yeah.
I hate to be a stickler, but technically it's Sainte-Catherine de la Jacques-Cartier.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's a big deal to me.
That's okay. Be a stickler. I appreciate that. You can stickle all you want. But you came in for, it's a long drive. Wally, it's a very long flight. You were delayed in Iceland. Amy is here as well. I mean, you all came.
Toronto?
Yeah.
What is it about Wrestling Uncensored? I mean, you guys have been to, you guys are wrestling fans, right? You guys, you know that we're not the only show that talks about professional wrestling, right? What is it about Wrestling Uncensored that you like better than the other shows? Like, what is it?
It's the company. It's the sitting around. You're watching. Well, for me anyway. Like when wrestling starts, usually it's 12 at night in Ireland. It goes on till about 4 a.m. and it's just like having friends there sitting with you. And you don't have to make them any drinks or food or anything like that. You can still talk about stuff. And even if it's like you have different opinions, that's what you want. It's about debate and it's about having people who are on the same mindset as you. Something that they love. Because like not many people that I know love wrestling still.
Yeah.
So it's great having people that do. And it's just great. Like it keeps you. It means that we don't have to watch Raw and SmackDown too. And you can just tell us about it. And then we can go, oh yeah, that was good.
I will say that it is a big sacrifice on my part to have to watch the WWE. Because I watch every single match. And my brother's here. He he can attest to this because he sits through a lot of this stuff with me, and he's like, "Can we just fast forward through this Miz match?" I'm like, "No, I have to watch it because I cannot say it's bad unless I actually see it, and I know it's bad. Even though I know before the match it's probably gonna suck, I have to sit through it to confirm it because once in a while, like Randy Orton a couple weeks ago, I would have skipped through his promo and said that was a bad promo, but I would have been wrong because it was a good promo. So I watch every single bit of Raw and SmackDown, and I have for the past, I guess, 12 years since we've been on the air doing this, since 2006. And before then, I mean, I was a wrestling fan, but I would miss weeks. You know, I'm sure you guys don't hit every SmackDown, every Raw. You guys aren't watching every episode, but I am watching every episode for Wrestling Uncensored because I believe in professional wrestling, and I believe in the... I believe in this show. Like, I believe we have to be down the middle, and we have to know what we're talking about, which means I have to watch a lot of this stuff. And I take notes during every episode of Raw and SmackDown. I should put those online one day. There are, like, notes that I take for the show so that, I mean, I can remember all the little details and the things that I need to remember for Wrestling Uncensored, which unfortunately I don't actually have with me tonight. I'm really not prepared to talk pro wrestling, so sorry.
I'd love to read AJ's notes for Ringside Report. I'd say that's really, really crazy.
AJ's, yeah, you wouldn't be able to. They're incomprehensible. But yeah, we put a lot of effort into watching the show, you know, because the show is not always great. Raw and SmackDown. I mean, do you guys all watch Raw and SmackDown every week?
Not even close.
You don't,
No,
right?
you got a lot
Wally,
more patience
do
than
you?
I do.
I'd go to bed about, say, midnight, and it starts about 1, so it would play in the background as I'm sleeping.
Right.
So it's like I can hear things going on, and I'll wake up for a bit, and I'll see, oh, yeah, this promo, and I'll watch a bit of it, and I'll fall asleep. And then, like, Amy's kind of like, okay, turn the telly off now. It's 4 a.m. So I do see them, but I mostly hear them. Yeah.
AJ gave me a faulty champagne glass here. Sorry, Wally. AJ gave me a glass with like a hole in it.
You're kidding me.
Thanks, AJ. Unbelievable. AJ broke a glass already.
What?
This is like, we're 15 minutes in, and it's already like a complete mess, so thanks, everybody, for coming.
Sorry. I don't think everybody's going to make it out. Somebody's going to get electrocuted with all the champagne on the ground here.
AJ's cleaning it up. That's what AJ's here for. AJ's got it. We got a caller on the line. Should we put the caller on?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's go. Hello, you're on Ringside. No, Wrestling Uncensored. Hello?
Hello, David.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. This is, you know me. My name is Peter.
Peter, how are you?
Good. I wanted to congratulate you for your 400 show. That is quite an achievement.
Thank you.
And I do listen. I don't call all the time, but I do call, and I enjoy listening to you. And keep up the great work. You really impressed me. So I just wanted to congratulate you.
Well, thank you, Peter.
And keep up the great work. I'll be listening, and once in a while I'll pick up the phone and call you.
Well, we thank you very much. There he is. Peter! Clap it up!
Hey, Peter!
Kind words from Peter there.
Where was Peter calling from?
Montreal. Somewhere in Montreal.
General area.
Yes, yeah. That's right. He is visually impaired.
I challenged him in the
So radio is very important, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we have to keep everybody informed. As I know, we keep a lot of people informed that are locked up. So I want to give a shout out to all my people locked up right now who aren't allowed to watch professional wrestling, that listen to Wrestling Uncensored and Ringside Report Radio to get their fix on combat. Big shout out to you. Do your time. Don't let the time do you.
Nice.
That's a true fact.
Little criminal justice reform.
Johnny North knows that, right, Johnny?
Oh, yeah, I got a couple of friends in prison, yeah.
So give a shout out. Say hello. Well, don't directly.
Don't say names.
I could
Don't
get
say
them in
names.
trouble,
Don't
too.
say names or crimes committed.
Be held against
Yeah,
the
that could get them in a lot of trouble, but the boys know.
The boys know.
The boys.
Let's not say my name anymore either.
Yeah. Let's not drop any names. So, tell me a little bit. Like, when did you guys start wrestling or watching or listening to Wrestling Uncensored? How long you been listening? Wally, you've been listening for a long time.
Yeah, pretty much in the start. Like I remember just like when it was Ringside Report and they used to do the wrestling and the MMA as well together, and then when it was a spin-off, it kind of got me back into wrestling. I mean, I'd kind of not watched it for a few years because I'd move around a bit, different houses. Like you might move on, and there mightn't be sports channels there that would have it before the network.
Yeah.
So that's when it kind of got me back in watching it regularly. As I say, none of my friends didn't still watch it anymore. So it was kind of really from the start. Yeah, it got me back watching it, and that's why I'm still a fan.
That's awesome.
I probably wouldn't be watching wrestling now if it wasn't for Wrestling Uncensored.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's I feel like it's more fun to watch when you have people to watch it with, when there's like a community that you can kind of discuss and talk about what's going on.
Especially since Raw is like 3 hours.
Raw is brutal.
You can't watch it alone.
Can any of you guys sit through a Monday Night Raw?
No, Dave, I told you before that I depend on this show to know my wrestling, to know what's happening in the wrestling universe.
Yeah.
Because it's too long. I PVR every single week, but I watch it in about 15, 20 minutes.
There you go.
That's how long, and that's how like time-consuming and time-wasting they use with their time. It's crazy.
They don't entertain us. They don't make the most out of their minutes. And that's why I guess it's good to have a show like Wrestling Uncensored where we can kind of tell you what happened in a very short hour format, and you can know, what's happening as far as Raw and SmackDown in 1 hour without watching the 3 and then the 2 hour show. It's a lot to watch every single week. Believe me, I'm watching it every single week, and I'm watching New Japan, and I'm watching everything in the UFC. Like, it is a lot to consume and kind of keep up with the WWE. I think they're giving us too much these days.
I can't even make it through the highlights on the WWE website.
Yeah, there you go. Johnny North, we have another special guest. Are you ready?
I think I know who this is.
Should we unleash him?
Yeah, let's do it.
You are unleashed.
Let me on your 400th episode. Congratulations.
Who is this? Who is this? Green Phantom?
That's me, brother.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for calling.
Well, I figured 400 episodes, you deserve a call. I mean, getting with the green, I should have waited maybe 20 more episodes, but 400 is a milestone, and you guys are probably the hardest working guys in wrestling radio, and definitely in Montreal, that's for sure, brother.
Well, thank you, and I look forward to doing another episode of What's Phantom in Japan with you, and I want to thank you, too, for joining the Wrestling Uncensored universe. Wally is a big fan. Are you guys paying attention to WrestlingUncensored.net? Are you listening to What's Phantom in Japan to figure out what's going on in New Japan? You are, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We got a room full of people here, Phantom, that are listening.
A room full of people.
A room full of people that are listening to you on What's Phantom in Japan because it's the fastest rising podcast on the Wrestling Uncensored network.
Of course it is, because New Japan is the fastest rising form of wrestling entertainment on the planet, brother. I mean, you know as well as I do, watching this G1 special there, it's been fantastic wrestling. I mean, honestly, I don't even know how I can go back to watching what I would call boring WWE these days, even though I'm obviously a huge fan of some of the superstars there. But, I mean, the caliber of matches going on in Japan is just off the charts, brother.
Yeah, it is the top level of professional wrestling in the entire world right now. There's nothing going on better than New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's why I said, look, we have to do a show. I mean, most people in North America, most people in Canada and Montreal, they watch the WWE because that's what's on TV, that's accessible, but New Japan is so hot right now, I said we had to do a separate show, a monthly show, to cover the bases in New Japan because it's the best wrestling company going today.
Yeah, it's super hot right now, and I'm really happy you picked me to be your co-host because the Green Phantom is pretty hot these days also.
Yeah.
And you're part of that. Not just my Just Relax appearances and heavy, but you saw the front page spread in the Gazette, man.
Yes,
that was pretty sick, and I would say part of that is because of you. Getting into the world of podcasting, brother.
Wow.
I want to thank you. I want to congratulate you, and I want to tell you and everyone out there and everyone in that damn room, get with the green, baby.
We are all getting with the green, and Mr. Phantom, sir, I appreciate those words, man. It means a lot.
All right, we'll talk soon, brother.
Yeah, we will. There he is, Green Phantom, clapping up for the Phantom. He's a good man. He's a good man, and really, I'm privileged to be able to do a show with him. The guy is a living legend.
By the way, that promo you did on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, the Man in the Mirror one,
Green Phantom, yeah,
was top notch.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Really
it was really good. Check him out. I think it's Green Phantom 514 on Twitter. Wally knows.
Yeah, it's Green Phantom. I think it's some number. I think it's
514.
514.
That's the area code here.
Ah.
Yeah. See, Wally doesn't know.
I thought he was 514 years of age. Immortal.
Where are you, Johnny? Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I just wanted to listen into what Pham had to say. I think Pham's a great guy. I do believe I beat him in the last match we had, but he's still a great competitor, and it's cool that he wrestled Jeremy Prophet, I believe, at Heavy Metal, and he went over too. Congratulations that he's victorious, not against me, but against Jeremy Prophet.
Wow!
Congrats.
See, Johnny, it's like a real backhanded compliment. That's what he's always doing.
What are we talking about? I just put him over right there.
No, you said, "Oh, he's really great." Da da da. I beat him last time we were in the ring, brother.
Well, I did wait until he was off mic and off the air until he,
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Well, that's just the way it worked. I'm sorry.
That's what Johnny does. Johnny does that to me, by the way.
Pushes the buttons.
Johnny on the show, very nice. Johnny in my house when we're hanging out, very nice. Johnny on Twitter when I'm not there, mean as hell to me all the time.
Burying him, man.
Burying? Come on.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. We're good friends, and if anything, it's just done for the entertainment of everyone here.
I was going to say something.
AJ, come here. AJ's got stuff to say. So you're saying...
What are we talking about working to a shoot? What are you talking about?
I was just saying,
We're not going to have a match, by the way. I know you're trying to...
Oh, that'd be great for 400.
No.
Johnny and I...
The first ever studio match.
I'm going over, though, brother.
No, you're not going over, by the way. That's
Why would
but
I
it's
not?
not happening.
I
so it doesn't
definitely
matter.
go over. I'm the babyface. I'm the babyface of Wrestling Uncensored, right?
No, you're not.
No.
Amy says I am. Wally says I am, right? No?
Johnny, you make an effort to be the heel.
Yeah, see, Rob knows.
It's really subjective when you say I'm the heel. I find it really depends on your taste, and
Jay's the heel.
I push
Antoinette
the
says-
button. I push the button.
Antoinette, get on the mic here. Where's Antoinette? She's saying I'm the heel.
Yeah, on the mic, Antoinette.
Why am I the heel? Because you're wearing a Roman Reigns shirt and I'm not very nice to Roman Reigns on Wrestling Uncensored? Is that why?
It's constructive criticism.
You're the heel.
It is constructive criticism about Roman Reigns. He needs to improve. Is he the guy that you want to see main event your WrestleManias?
Yes.
A poll of this room? Antoinette says yes. Anybody else say yes?
We're going to have to live with it for the next 4 or 5 years, so get used to it.
We're going to have to live with it, get used to it. Who wants to get used to it? I got a subscription to New Japan. It's $12 a month.
Lucha Underground's killing it also on cable.
Impact Wrestling's trying to do stuff. I mean, all these other promotions in professional wrestling are really stepping up. And I'm a WWE fan. I'm a diehard WWE fan. I saw Hulk Hogan when I was 4 years old, and I was hooked. Okay? I saw this guy, red and yellow. I'm a WWE guy for life. But what they're doing right now is turning me off. And that's sad to me. I love the WWE, but it's sad where the product is going. But it's very exciting to see how healthy the wrestling business is as a whole right now. It is maybe healthier than it's ever been. You look at what Cody Rhodes is doing with All In. You look at how hot New Japan is. The accessibility that the internet and these streaming services have provided for us. It's really changed the wrestling business. The wrestling business now, you don't have to be the WWE to be seen in every household. You could be a promotion in England. You could be a promotion in Montreal. You could be a promotion in Tokyo. And you could be in every wrestling fan's house. The only thing that WWE has over the other companies right now is TV, and they're just money, and they're bigger. But the quality of the product is seriously lacking, and when you talk to wrestling fans that are looking for that alternative, there are a lot of alternatives right now to the WWE, which is great for professional wrestlers and just the business as a whole.
In a backhanded way, they might be responsible for that. Just because it's been so bad, it sent people looking for other things.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time this has happened, by the way. This is how ECW got popular. Because,
Yeah. And WCW. Could New Japan be the new WCW? Could they get to that point?
It's tough because WWE is so big now. It wasn't as big back then.
Yeah.
They just gobble up all the talent, so it's hard for any new Fed to really get started.
But if you start having talent like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, who understand that the WWE is not where they want to be, and they continue to do big matches and big things, at a certain point, the WWE is not going to be able to take the talent because New Japan is giving them not the same money, but good money, and creative freedom to do what they really want to do.
A big thing with those guys, too, is the control of their merch back in the States. Because they do all their own merch, all their own stuff.
Yeah, the Young Bucks are making more money outside of the WWE than they possibly ever could inside of the WWE as a tag team. Think about the last tag team that was as over and as money-making as the Young Bucks. It just doesn't really happen, especially not like indies, outside of the WWE. It's amazing what you can do outside of Vince McMahon's empire right now in pro wrestling, and it shows you that the WWE, they don't own the business. There are things you can do outside of it.
And more than money, I think, like, when you see guys who leave, like Cody Rhodes, they look happy now. Like, when you see them, they actually look like they're, like, loving life. It's like when you leave a job you hate, they're looking like they're, like, actually really enjoying life. So even the standard of living outside it seems to be better. They seem to be all having fun with it, whereas some of the guys in WWE look miserable. Like,
well, they don't get to call their own shots in the WWE. Vince McMahon says you go this way, you go that way, you do this, you do that, and they have to do it. Cody Rhodes doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do. Cody Rhodes wrestled Kenny Omega, a month ago? A month ago, and he hasn't wrestled since, and he's not going to wrestle until September 1st. This guy's able to take the whole summer off, wait till his All-In show that he's promoting himself, and I think he's filming some Arrow with that Stephen Amell guy, right? So Cody's able to kind of take his opportunities when he can, whenever he wants, and he doesn't have to be under the thumb of the WWE and their rule. He doesn't have to listen to wherever Vince wants him to be or whoever Vince wants him to be. He can be whoever he wants to be, and so can Kenny Omega, and so can anybody that's outside WWE. But if you're there, you're so restricted, and when you're outside of WWE, you have so much freedom that being inside that feels like it's like almost a wrestling prison. Now, it's a wrestling prison where you can make millions and millions of dollars and be like a John Cena. But I watched Total Bellas. Does John Cena look happy to anybody?
Would you look happy with the Total Bellas? Camera in your face 24 hours a day?
Well, it's not just that. That's messing with John Cena, you know. What kind of life is that when you have no personal life to speak of because you're business all the time? You got a lot of money in the bank, but how's that life for John Cena? I don't know, you know? So I think the quality of life outside of WWE is what's attracting people to stay outside of the WWE, but the money will always be a draw. And, of course, you know, when you're there, you're kind of set for life as a pro wrestler. Like, once you get there, if you can make a name for 3 or 4 years, then everybody in the wrestling world knows who you are, and you can go to a lot more, like, more places. The doors are open for you if you want to leave the WWE after, right?
And despite how bad it is, it's still the allure of the name. I mean, it's still a
big
deal.
You want to be at a WrestleMania. Everybody wants to do one WrestleMania, right?
So, Dave, for you, what is the next step for New Japan to stay on par with the WWE?
More shows in North America. They need to come here more.
Okay. Aren't they coming in?
They're going to do a show,
another one in the Cow Palace?
WrestleMania weekend. At Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, with ROH.
Yeah, with Ring of Honor, a joint production. And I am very excited about that. And I may make the trip just to see Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki-gun Ichiban.
I got to take back some of the things I said about him. His performances in G1 have been spectacular.
He is the best. You got to take back some of the things you say about him because he's a real scary man. That's why you got to.
Yeah, he looks scary.
Minoru Suzuki is one scary dude.
He played this crazy old man who would just, you know, he was legit. So it was hard to. There was no art in what he was doing at first. He would just choke people out all the time and, you know, act crazy. But now the matches he's put on there, it's. I take it most of it back.
He's very good. I'm a huge, huge fan of Minoru Suzuki's. I think he's my most favorite wrestler right now. You know, Daniel Bryan's on SmackDown, kind of whatever with the Miz, and that's the problem with WWE. Like, there's these great wrestlers, and then I'm like, but he's going to wrestle the Miz, so how good can it possibly be? Whereas, like, you know, Kenny Omega and Tetsuya Naito, it's like, oh man, I can't wait for that. It's gonna, you know, their matches are something you can look forward to. Their guys are rewarded for being good wrestlers. In the WWE, just because you're a good wrestler doesn't mean you're going to be pushed to the top of the card, which is disappointing. And I'm sorry, Antoinette, but, you know, Roman Reigns at the top of the card is not the most exciting thing. Tell me why. Sell me on Roman Reigns here, Antoinette. This is your time to sell the Wrestling Uncensored universe on your boy Roman Reigns. She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to do it.
Come on, Antoinette.
I'm sure you got a few things to say, Johnny.
Because he's the guy.
Because he's the guy. Because it's his yard, I guess.
He's very handsome.
He's the big
that vest,
and he
that
works
vest
hard.
is just poured on him.
Yeah, I mean, people.
You can't deny he's a good worker. He's actually is.
Whoa.
A good
Well, he
worker.
can take it.
Good bumps. Yeah, great bumps.
But
He's
should be a
tough.
heel.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a weird.
On his behalf, I mean, the WWE hasn't done him any favors at all. The way they've pushed him has been ridiculous and so hard-headed.
That's the only problem.
Well, it worked for Cena, though.
He's wrestled the same match for 4 years, too.
It did work for John Cena.
He needs to turn heel and have Paul Heyman.
Well, that would be the only thing.
That seems like it's possible right now, right? It looks like, I mean, after this week on Raw, when Brock Lesnar's beating up Paul Heyman, did you guys like that? I didn't like that.
I loved it.
I feel like they are just trying everything they possibly can to make you hate Brock Lesnar, and I'm not buying it. It's just like
Roman.
It's just like, ooh, Brock, he's so mean. You have to cheer for Roman. Look, Brock has no friends. He's even mean to Paul Heyman because WWE figures the only redeeming thing about Brock that the fans really like is Paul Heyman. When Paul Heyman says, "My name is Paul Heyman," and the crowd goes, with him, it's like WWE thinks that is helping Brock be a babyface, and they're like, okay, we need to eliminate Paul Heyman, make Brock turn on him so we can really get them to hate Brock. But against Roman, it's never going to work. It doesn't work like that.
I told Johnny outside before, I told him that they're going to use this as an excuse. When Roman wins at SummerSlam, they'll use this as an excuse that, Paul wasn't there to help Brock.
Right.
Actually, Paul Heyman with Roman would be a good thing in one way that we wouldn't have to hear any more Roman promos. Because those are just... it's not better.
Yeah. Antoinette, what was that? This Roman's he sucks at promos. Yeah.
But when you have to read a script on top of that, that's just
it's just not very good. What Roman
Hollywood writer gives you to
it's not good. It's not good stuff from Roman Reigns.
Did you not like it though when Brock said that he doesn't watch Monday Night Raw? I thought that was like one of the best moments
that was good.
of the year.
The line was, I don't watch the show. Why would I watch the show? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Why would you watch this show? It's terrible. That was a really good line from Brock that I'm kind of surprised they let him say on Raw. Brock Lesnar, your champion of the brand, saying, I don't watch the show. Why would I watch this stuff? It's terrible.
I doubt he asked for permission to say that. He just said it if he wanted it.
Do you guys want to see Brock carry the title past SummerSlam?
Nope.
Should he drop the title before he goes to the UFC?
Yes.
He should, right?
Why?
Who should be the champion on Monday Night Raw the night after SummerSlam? Should it be A, Kevin Owens? Yes, right. Should it be B, Roman Reigns? Or should it be C, Braun Strowman?
I could see it being Braun Strowman to lead to another program with Reigns.
Yeah.
I could see them do that.
But I don't want to see Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns again. Nope. I'm not that interested. I'd rather see Kevin Owens as the Universal Champion. And by the way, Kevin, you can call in 514-790-1690 if you're in town, KO. It is Wrestling Uncensored 400!
Woohoo!
All right. I was joking there, but I think that Kevin Owens is the best option because he has so many opponents going in after SummerSlam. You've got Seth, you've got Finn, you've got Roman, you've got Braun. They can all chase Kevin Owens. Whereas if Roman or Braun are champion, it's like, well, they can wrestle each other, and then that's pretty much it.
And he's so good with the title, even though they sabotaged him when he had his reign.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. He had the mic. It was the Kevin Owens show.
Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, too, right? You can't forget about Jericho. Absolutely. During that Universal title run. They were a great, great team.
He's off to better things, though.
I think the best champions are guys who are good on the mic. If you're going to hold it for any kind of length of time, you need to kind of keep keeping it fresh. And if you can't really hold a really good promo, it's just the same match after the same match after the same match. I think like if you can hold a good promo and get a story, so like Kevin Owens can, I think they make the best champions.
Yeah, because you need a guy. What's that?
So the Miz would be a perfect champion.
No. What are we talking about here?
The best guys for a championship is with a promo.
Yeah, that's why Kevin Owens, not the Miz.
Well, Miz is a top 3 in a promo.
No, Miz.
I know he's a terrible wrestler, but the guy can talk.
No. See, this is what people misunderstand about the Miz, and I'm going to explain this to you.
Was that on purpose, by the way?
Just because what?
Misunderstand?
Oh, nice.
Did not mean to do that. But The Miz isn't entertaining when he speaks. It's not fun to watch. He's just able to speak. And if you're a guy whose only claim to fame is I can string words together, that's just not really that impressive to me. I grew up watching The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was a promo. To tell me The Miz cuts a good promo, I just don't see it. But Kevin Owens, he cuts good promos.
The Miz kind of reminds me of like a child's entertainer kind of at a party. Like he speaks well, but you're not really caring. You're kind of going, yeah, just keep entertaining the kids there for the next half an hour. Exactly. That's what we're paying you for, kind of.
And you're waiting for it to wrap up.
Yeah.
You're just like, can we just move this along, do the awesome thing, run away, and then next segment here, Miz.
Just to disagree with you real quick.
No.
Come on.
Cut his mic.
AJ's the weakest part of his game is probably AJ Styles' game is probably his promo, and he's been champ for what, a year and a half now, a year.
Yeah, but his wrestling is so good, and he's so over that it doesn't really matter.
But it shows if you're a babyface, it's less important to carry your promo. If you're a good wrestler, you can carry good matches.
If you're a good wrestler, but Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, you know, as much as some people may like them, they're not AJ Styles. AJ Styles is phenomenal. You know, he's very, very good at wrestling.
That'd be a good gimmick, actually. Phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal one. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
I met AJ Styles once. He's not a big guy. A big guy. But my goodness, can he move. I like AJ
I guess
Styles.
we agree it's Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is the best
Kevin
choice.
Owens,
Yeah,
Universal
Kevin
Champion.
Owens.
That's the way it should be. Right after SummerSlam. Sorry, Antoinette. It's not. She's wearing a Roman Reigns shirt right now. She's like, nope, I don't think so. It is Wrestling Uncensored. We actually have to take a little break here. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, AJ has something to say.
Yeah, sure. Let me say something.
Well, you've been waiting.
Yeah, I want to.
Been waiting for a while, right?
I want to say something about the Green Phantom and Johnny York.
Oh, Green Phantom actually texted me, John.
He did. He texted me too.
He says he beat you many times in MWF, and he's gonna get you again. So
he beat me once in MWF, and I beat him in MWF too. So
I don't know.
And I also beat him in some other Fed in Lachine too, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, we're gonna fact check and come back. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored, episode 400. We got a packed house here at TSN. Woo! And yeah, let's run through who we have here. There's a lot of voices going on. There's a lot going on. I am Dave Simon. You know me at Dave Simon MMA on Twitter and Instagram. RingsideReport.net, WrestlingUncensored.net, iTunes, YouTube. Do you guys watch the YouTube shows? Are you guys watching Dave and Johnny Live? Are you excited about the debut episode of the new show, Dave and Johnny Live, this Friday afternoon?
It is awesome.
Wally, you like it. You're always there.
Really
Antoinette, you're always there.
Do you ever say anything bad about anything, Wally?
Yeah, sometimes. In my head.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Anything I say outside,
Corey
I'm thinking
Graves.
different in my head. I'm thinking, yeah,
Yeah,
Corey
you go after
Graves. I do
Corey
not
Graves.
like Corey Graves, yeah. I never use Twitter to kind of say negative about anything, but when Corey Graves ever speaks now, after what he said about Punk, I'm just like, I hear it. When someone's at their lowest, you know the kind of way you pick them up, you don't keep kicking them.
Yeah, Corey Graves is a real jerk.
Yeah.
I'm not too happy with Corey Graves. I'm not too happy with his commentary either. I'm not feeling the
It's gotten
WWE's.
over. I think Vince is in his ear too much.
I don't know what it is. I think that the WWE commentary right now is just not.
NXT commentary is great.
NXT commentary is all right, but my favorite commentary team, again, like, I hate to keep saying, oh, New Japan's so good, but, like, man, Don Callis is really good on commentary, and him and Kevin Kelly make an excellent team. And even when it's not Kevin Kelly and Don Callis, when it's Kelly and Rocky Romero, they've been doing great during the G1 as well. It's a good system.
Hilarious.
Rocky Romero's very good. And Johnny North still not watching New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, get him, Universe.
I watch every now and then. I saw the highlights. The Jericho Naito match was very good. Mm-hmm. And Okada and Omega 4, fantastic. Good stuff.
Just top level wrestling.
3.5 hours of those two guys is better than 5 minutes of Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And I'd much prefer watch Tama Tonga over Roman Reigns, right? Those two guys are kind of internet feuding a little bit. I think it's fake. I honestly think it's fake between Tama Tonga and Roman Reigns. I think they're actually friends, but they're trying to play it up and build a buzz for each other. I think Roman knows that he can be more exciting by associating himself with Tama Tonga and vice versa with Tama. I think it's just it's a made-up feud. Roman's Samoan, Tama is Tongan. You know, I think there's a brotherhood there. And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tongaleo, right?
Okay.
The guy with Tama Tonga, Tonga's, brother. He was Camacho in the WWE.
Oh, really?
He was in the WWE as Camacho, and now he's in New Japan as like one of the Tongans. And I had no idea because he played a Mexican in WWE, but he's a Tongan guy, and he's.
I love racism in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like he's big now in New Japan, like he's a real character, whereas Camacho was nobody, right? Like nobody even knows that he's Camacho.
Yeah. How good did Haku look at the U.S. show?
Haku looked fantastic at the G1 special there. Yeah, Haku is quite old, hanging out with his sons there. Those are his kids, Tama and Tangaleo.
The beatdown was pretty impressive. That's cool that they broke up with the Bullet Club. That was interesting.
Yeah.
They've been teasing that for 2 years, too.
It's a very cool feud. It's very fun stuff going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
They might be carbon copying the NWO a bit too much there with all the interference in the G1.
Yeah, but that's kind of Bullet Club stuff. That's what they do. I'm into it. I'm into what they're doing right now. I'm into everything that New Japan does. They can really do no wrong, as far as I'm concerned.
Cliche too much as well.
I just don't need to see Hiroko Goto that much. There's just a lot of Goto, and it's just like a lot of rest holds. I'm not a big fan of Goto. He's the only guy I'm kind of like, yeah, all right, Goto. I like Toru Yano, you know. I'm not a fan of Goto. That's all right.
Are we ever going to get that Rey and Liger match? No?
I don't think Rey Mysterio's going back to New Japan. There's a possibility he'll go to the WWE. Are the Hardys leaving? Antoinette wanted to know if the Hardys are leaving. What's the update on the Hardys? It seems like they're sticking around, but...
Yeah, Matt Hardy sent out a tweet kind of saying, like, it was thanks to everybody, thanks to all my fans, thanks. It just sounded like a goodbye, but then it might be kind of...
I feel like
be a booker. His mind is amazing.
Yeah, he's a very smart wrestling guy, and he's been around the business for a long time. But I'd be surprised to see them leave WWE now. I feel like
isn't Jeff Hardy in a feud now, in a three-way feud?
Yeah, Hardy's gonna probably wrestle Nakamura and Randy Orton at SummerSlam for the U.S. title.
2/3 of that sounds.
And Matt Hardy is gonna team with Bray Wyatt, right?
Take on the B team.
To take on the B team again? Oh my God!
And the Revival, I think. No.
Oh, and the Revival.
Revival beat them this week.
Yeah. Who wants to see that stuff? Like, this is what I'm saying. When we start talking about WWE, I'm like, oh yeah, that again. You know, it's like nothing is that compelling. Like Joe and AJ at SummerSlam, that'll be good. Brock and Roman at SummerSlam, it'll be hit or miss. I'm not too sure how it'll be. And Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman, I mean, who knows how that match is going to go. And if Kevin Owens winds up losing and that match is like midway through SummerSlam, wait till the post show. I'm going to be mad. Like, I am not going to be happy if Kevin Owens come back, you know. If Kevin Owens doesn't win the Universal title at SummerSlam and it's like Roman walking away after just beating Brock, I'm not going to be too happy about that.
I don't see it being a clean finish at all. I definitely don't think it'll be Roman or Brock leaving. It'll be either Braun or Kevin Owens.
A cash-in. You have to have a Money in the Bank cash-in at SummerSlam. I think you're right. But you know what? Here's the thing, Wally. It makes sense to us, right? But we watch the WWE and we get stuff and we're like, yeah, really? Like, that's where you're going? Like, look, it's still the Roman Reigns show, you know? Like, you can say, oh, this makes sense, this is what they should do, and this would be the best course of action, and then it doesn't happen, and then we're sitting there the night after SummerSlam in a couple of weeks on Raw with Roman there saying, my yard, big dog, and then who comes out like John Cena? No, it's not, it's my yard, and it's like, oh, man, here we go, Cena and Roman, get ready, and it's like... This is not what any of us want to see, but that's what the WWE thinks is the best case scenario, right?
Don't you find this year there's not much hype
last year?
on SummerSlam?
They're not.
I don't feel like there's a lot of hype at SummerSlam. But John, can't you see them doing that? Why aren't you on this show, John? It's Wrestling Uncensored 400, and
DJ Jericho, or DJ Jarek, isn't it, John?
DJ
yeah,
Jarek.
He hasn't said that in a while.
Antoinette doesn't want to talk either. Like, John, Antoinette is like staying away from the mic and doesn't want to talk. We are facing each other right now, and you've said like 3 words to me this whole show, man. Wrestling Uncensored is like Dave and Johnny, but you're not here. Where are you, man?
He's eating.
He's eating.
Yeah.
I was eating, but the thing I have a problem with you, David, here.
Uh-oh, here we go.
He's going to bury him.
No, I'm not going to bury him or anything like that. It's just like you're really down on SummerSlam for some reason.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm sorry. Well, because like Wally just said, like,
there's no hype.
What? There's no.
What do you mean there's no hype? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. It's 3 years. 3 years of this. and there's no hype. Where have you been, David? Huh? Where have you been for this?
What do you mean there's no hype? You know why there's no hype, John? Because it's 3 years of this. It's the same match over and over again
That
for
means
3
there's
years.
a lot of hype. You should know it inside out.
Yeah, I know it inside out, and I've seen it a million times, and it's like, been there, done that. I don't care. The match that I've seen a million times that I do want to see is AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, because I know they deliver. Brock and Roman, not so much. John!
It's a match they've been building pretty much since last year.
Last decade.
The match
Last
at
decade.
WrestleMania was
No.
the match they've been
I've
building.
done this on the show. It's been like 4 or 5 years of this thing, right? Like WrestleMania. When did Brock beat Taker? Which Mania
30.
was that? 30.
30.
It's been It's been 5 years of this, if you're really counting, John, because WrestleMania 30,
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Brock beats Taker. WrestleMania 31, that's where Brock wrestles Roman for the first time at WrestleMania for the championship. Seth Rollins takes the title. WrestleMania 32, Triple H and Roman, right? And or Brock?
Brock wrestled Ambrose.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Oh, wow.
Right? WrestleMania 33, Roman
Taker.
Roman is the second man ever to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania 34, Brock, Roman again, and now here rolling into SummerSlam 2018, we're going down the same road. This match, if we're really being honest, is 4.5 years in the making. This story has been going on for almost 5 years in the WWE, and that's why I'm kind of over it, because we've seen it time and time again. Roman loses every time. Okay, have him win and then have somebody cash in. Like, that's the way to end this story. The way to end this story is Roman finally does it. He finally gets Brock. He finally takes the title, and then somebody takes it away from him right away. That's how you do the end of the Roman Brock story.
But they did that with Sheamus also a couple of years ago.
And Daniel Bryan.
Did they?
Yeah, Daniel
CM
Bryan after
Punk.
he beat Cena,
Yeah, Randy just took it from him with the briefcase.
Yeah.
But that's
So
the
that's
only
what they
way-
do.
That's the only way I think they could get any kind of interest back into Roman Reigns.
It'll get... Yeah, but even then...
Have Paul Heyman.
I don't... Yeah, that's
get
what
a
Ed
pop.
wants to see him with Heyman.
Yeah.
It'll get a pop, but it won't be because of Roman. Like, people will be excited because somebody's going to cash in. Whether it's Braun Strowman or Kevin Owens, it's going to get a big reaction for a cash-in, and I don't know where that really leaves Roman the next night. It's like, oh, you screwed me, and I'm going to come and take the title from you. It's like, okay, so now we have Roman still in the main event. It doesn't really make Roman seem vulnerable. It doesn't build any kind of sympathy for Roman, because the next night, okay, he beat Brock and he got it stolen from him. But the next night on Raw, he's right back in the mix. So the fans are like, well, we see through this. You're still pushing Roman. I don't think it helps Roman to do that.
Just feels really forced. Just kind of feels like it doesn't. It's not natural. Like the greatest things I can remember ever happening in wrestling were all natural things. Like this seems really kind of pushed. Like they keep saying, "Oh look, Brock Lesnar isn't here." If this show was hosted by WWE tonight, they would have been telling you that Brock Lesnar didn't bother showing up, and
Yeah,
they kind of force it on you. You know,
they're forcing you. They're feeling like, oh, people are mad that Brock Lesnar doesn't show up. Let's make that his gimmick, and let's try to make them really hate Brock Lesnar, because we're trying to make Roman into the guy that they cheer for. They're trying to force us into cheering for Roman. Nobody had to force us into cheering for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a tough SOB. He was flipping people off. He was mean to Bret Hart. And you're like, man, I like him. Like, I remember 1997, the Survivor Series right here at what was the Molson Center back in the day, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin and Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. This was in the height of Canada versus USA. I was a Hart Foundation guy through and through. But when Stone Cold Steve Austin came through that broken glass, psh, man, I went crazy. I was like, yeah, Stone Cold! Like, I wasn't supposed to cheer for Stone Cold. I loved Owen Hart. I was a Canadian guy, but I couldn't help myself because he was so cool. He was so awesome that you just had to cheer for Stone Cold. It was an organic build to where he finally got to at WrestleMania 14 when he took the title from Shawn Michaels, and then it was the Stone Cold era. But no one had to force the WWE universe or whatever it was at the time to cheer for Stone Cold, and that's too bad, you know. And nobody had to force us to cheer for Hulk Hogan. People loved Hulk Hogan and they cheered for him. But with Roman, it's not that kind of support. Some people like him, I guess, but it's not the entire wrestling world saying, yes, this guy, we want this guy.
Dave and Johnny, if you were to get Roman over, what would you do with him? Like, how would you put him over?
I think it's too late at this point. I think he's spoiled.
I don't think it's not too late.
It's too late.
There's a lot of potential with
Get
Roman,
rid of him.
actually.
He can never get over.
For like 6 months or something.
I would like send him away. Like, that's not bad because it's hard. Like
Just like Sting did, that kind of thing. So
yeah,
he's
like
just pissed off, annoyed.
I would I would disappear him. I would change his gimmick for sure. You would have to change the gimmick a little bit. Like, you have to do some sort of alteration. I would have him come out without a shirt on. Just to start.
Maybe he has to go away for 6 months then.
Yeah, well, maybe.
He needs to go train with Johnny North.
Yeah, that's it. He's got to look jacked like Johnny. But, like, you know, just something to change his gimmick, because the Roman Reigns that we're seeing is so stale, too. Like, he's coming out with the Shield music, right? Like, when was the last time the Shield were actually together? I mean, they came back together and did the whole thing, but, like, when did the Shield break up?
After WrestleMania 30.
After WrestleMania 30. So 5 years ago, and Roman is still... Roman... This guy's an encyclopedia of professional wrestling, my brother, okay? Don't mess with the Simon brothers. He's just as hardcore as I am. Now, Roman comes out in the same gear, comes out to the same music. Like, nothing has changed with Roman except he comes out through the entrance instead of the crowd. Like, that's the only thing about his gimmick that has changed. He calls himself the big dog, maybe now more than he used to, but, like, the evolution of the Roman Reigns character really hasn't happened. It's just kind of the same guy over and over again.
And it happened with Hogan, too, in WCW.
Greatest heel turn of all time.
And he turned, and it was great, right?
Well, that's it. The evolution of your character. That's what you need. His character's getting stale. They need to do something different.
But I don't know if turning Roman Reigns into a full-on bad guy heel is the way to go, because right now he's getting booed quite heavily. I'd say it's like 80% negative reaction for Roman Reigns in any given arena that he's at.
Hogan was getting booed in WCW. That's why they turned him heel. And it worked.
Well, Hollywood Roman.
Cena was getting booed for a long time, and John Cena never turned heel.
And it's still resented for that.
Yep.
You resent him.
I think a lot of people still resent him.
I think a lot of kids are happy that their hero stayed their hero.
By the way, a funny story about Stone Cold. He became cool the minute that Vince McMahon lost interest in him. When they let him do his own stuff. When he wasn't the $1 million champ anymore.
When he wasn't the ringmaster anymore, and they're like, well, what do you want to do? We really don't have any ideas for you here, pal. And he's like, well, damn, son, how about it be Stone Cold Steve Austin? And it's like, all right, that sounds good. Drink some beer! Raise some hell!
As soon as their quote-unquote creative loses interest and they let them do what they want, they seem to... Look what happened with Matt Hardy in TNA.
Well,
he started the Broken Universe.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what we were talking about earlier with the freedom and creativity in professional wrestling. Sometimes when you're in the WWE and they're telling you what to do and they're giving you your lines and you're just making your towns, it's hard to think about like what's next and what's the creative idea, and because the motivation isn't really there. If you're Roman Reigns and it's like, Roman, we have this story for you. It's going to be really elaborate. You're going to go out, you're going to say these words.
You're going to get a bunch of money.
Yeah, you're going to get tons of money. Yep. Why would Roman try to rock the boat and be like, no, I don't want to say that. Let me say this instead. Why would he do that? There's no reason to do that, and that's why he is where he's at right now. Whereas if you're outside of the WWE and you have that freedom to be creative, that's where you're seeing the real creative stuff in like New Japan and Ring of Honor and indie wrestling. People are setting the trends that the WWE try to steal, like the Balor Club instead of the Bullet Club, and you see Andrade Cien Almas now being very tranquilo, and he's not just doing that because of Los Ingobernables de Mexico, he's doing it because of how over Tetsuya Naito is and Los Ingobernables de Japón.
How is AJ La Sombra not on a pay-per-view?
Yeah, that match was fantastic on SmackDown. Yes, Andrade Cien Almas is very, very good. He's going to be a big star in the company. Watch that guy. Although I said that about Chad Gable and it hasn't really turned out, so who knows?
Jason Jordan, actually.
Yeah, I could see them getting back together, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. That would make a lot of sense. Chad Gable is an incredible talent. incredible talent,
And
legit
he gave
as they
Jason Jordan
come.
the personality he didn't have.
Yeah, exactly. He really made Jason Jordan fun. Chad Gable has what a lot of guys in New Japan have, and very few guys in WWE have: cauliflower ear. And when you look at a guy's ears, you know how tough he is. Most guys in New Japan, they have cauliflower ears because they've been through it. They know how to grapple, and they're actually tough.
You know they're for real.
You know they're for real. Very few guys in the WWE have cauliflower ear, and that's because, you know, they're not real grapplers. My man AJ over here, let me see your ears. Look at that. Look at his ear over here.
Amy would often ask me that. What is that guy's ears like that? And I go, because he's tough.
Exactly. AJ over here, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, wearing his gi right now. He's got a little cauliflower ear because AJ's a real tough guy, you see. Come here, AJ. Come here. Talk to me over here. You got to get on the mic. What?
It depends. Like, you know, sometimes there are guys that don't have cauliflower ears and they can kick ass. It really depends. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You know,
but if you have cauliflower ear, chances are you've been through some stuff.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to mess with someone that has cauliflower ears. That's
right.
For sure. That'll be an indication to, like, maybe step back.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll mess you up.
Just show some respect.
Show some respect, but, you know.
Exactly. AJ, do you have any words for the Wrestling Uncensored universe here?
Yeah.
You're part of the Ringside Report radio universe, but, you know, we don't have any big parties like this with Fred, although Fred is always a party, right?
He is. He's a
and Muscles Marco, too.
Muscles
right?
Marco, for sure.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say before is because I wanted to throw in a, like, sort of something to the Green Phantom, because, like, he was dissing our buddy Johnny North here. And, like, nobody messes with Johnny North. Because Johnny North is the Canadian mountain here. He's the North, man. He's the top of the peak of the peak of that peak.
Appreciate
and I'm going
it.
to tell you something,
Thank
Johnny. Johnny, I'm going to tell you something. You know, we have something in common. Because Green Phantom, what he forgot is that I choked out Mickey Major, which he was representing.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
yeah, no.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
There he is. Thanks,
yes. Yes.
There we go.
Tag team.
That was the moment of 400 right there.
There we go. AJ. Unbelievable. Thank you, AJ. You've been great tonight. Thank you. We are winding down the show. You know, we are overtime here. We're supposed to be off the air now, but, you know. It's Wrestling Uncensored 400. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. It's been really cool to see all of you. Captain, my man, Rob, Wally, Amy, Antoinette, John, my man over here, my brother, AJ, and of course the big man, Johnny North. Clap
Thank you. Yeah, clap for me. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Should bang on the table, too.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Settle down over there, Johnny North. I also want to thank a silent partner in Wrestling Uncensored and Ringside Report Radio, my father. All right, yeah. I want to thank my dad because my dad, John Simon, he helps out a lot with the web stuff, and you know, one of the reasons why we're on iTunes and on all these things is because of my dad. And RingsideReport.net would not be anywhere near what it is without him. We got the whole family working here, and I want to thank him a lot.
Yeah.
The show would not happen without him, and we appreciate him. You know, but I appreciate all of you here for being here. It's just been. It's been crazy. You guys, you got questions? You have anything? You know, it's like the YouTube show. You know, we got questions before we wrap up. Wally?
I have a question, yeah. What do you think episode 500 is going to be like? How's the show going to evolve over the next 100 episodes?
After 400, I don't know if we'll do another 100, you know? 500, will we make it, John? Do you think? Every 100, I'm like, I don't know if we're going to make it to another 100.
Every week I'm starting to wonder, like, I don't know, man.
It has to.
Wait and see.
I don't know, but 500, I think it'll be bigger. It'll be at some sort of arena. You know, there's going to be way more of us, right? The Wrestling Uncensored universe is growing. It is. I feel like it is growing, and things are happening here. So I think 500 is going to be crazy. We're going to have pyro for 500.
I wonder what AJ is going to do for 500 if that's what he did for 4.
AJ nearly died for 400, so 500 is going to be real dangerous for you, AJ.
Those cars were swerving pretty good. Their lights were on.
But I didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, no, AJ was in the middle of the street in a jiu-jitsu gi, with cars flying, and he told me before, I didn't have my glasses, I couldn't see anything. I was like, AJ, you could have died. He's like, no, think of the ratings. I was like, the ratings? You're gonna be dead, man. Why do you care about the ratings? Unbelievable. Well, that's it, man. Wrestling Uncensored episode 400. We're wrapping up. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website, as you know. At Dave Simon MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Johnny, when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring?
Well, I don't have a match, but I'll just lay out an open challenge to the Green Phantom to meet me anywhere, anytime.
Oh! Damn!
finally end this once and for all that I'm the better man?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Johnny North ending in violence here. I love it.
Can I be your wingman?
AJ
Yeah,
wants.
sure, why not?
AJ is desperate to get into the wrestling business, but he doesn't
It's not a bad
understand
idea,
how
but
wrestling works.
He's got a lot of friends, though. He cheats a lot, Phantom.
I know he's friends.
Oh man, slinging heat, Johnny North.
Saves the best for the end, Johnny. Yeah. Like laying in the weeds.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right. Well, that's it. I want to thank everybody for being here. It's been really cool seeing you all, meeting you all, putting the faces to the Twitter names. Everybody that came out from far places. Wally coming out from Ireland. I mean, we all traveled here, but Wally and Amy coming out from Ireland.
And we will be back. I promise you that. 100% we'll be back.
It's been amazing having you here.
Yeah, Canada's an amazing place. A really great city. Really friendly people. These are all great. Really great to just get and put faces to names. And I just want to say the hype is real. Johnny North, Dave Simon, they're all absolute legends in person as much as they are on the radio. And AJ. Of course, AJ. What? AJ, 100%.
Well, I want to thank
the poutine.
Oh, the poutine is amazing,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, you haven't had good poutine yet.
All right.
I'm sorry.
For Alex. Oh my goodness. This
Rob.
is a lot. Alex, Rob, Wally, Amy, Johnny, Antoinette, John, Ben, AJ, I'm Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Everybody now.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Excellent.